Welcome to my Sea of Thieves story, and today I've got something pretty special for you guys. I'll tell you one thing, Sea of Thieves is not an easy game, especially for a solo player. When majority of crews have their own roles on the ship and rely on teamwork, as a solo, you have to manage everything alone. Not only scavenge every island for treasure, but also keep an eye on the horizon so you don't get jumped. But what if I told you that there is a way to progress without fail? Well, in this adventure, I'm going to show you exactly how. Because today, we're going back to origins of Sea of Thieves. So, let's begin. After spawning in a tavern, my first goal was clear. Gather as many supplies as I could. Even though I had no plans to fight today, being solo means you always have to be ready. Today, I was after Order of Souls, so after gathering some supplies on the outpost, I voted for their emissary flag. The main area where I will be progressing today is Devil's Roar, the place where almost no one is around. And for a solo like myself, it is a perfect opportunity for both chill experience and high value reward. Here's one thing about the place, it has little to no world events at all, and that's why the vast majority of crews don't bother going there. They stay where the action is and searching for players in calm waters. So, today, I'm gonna take advantage of that, show exactly how I gain experience, and most importantly, earn a ton of gold. With a clear goal in mind, I voted for my first Order of Souls voyage. The distance was long, but I was gonna make it worth it. Now, allow me to introduce you to the strategy I'm going to use today. You see, with Season 17, we got smugglers loot sitting at almost every island you come across, and there is a chance these piles of loot will have one particular item that would speed up my progress massively. Some of you may already know what I'm talking about, but if you don't worry. Stick around, as I'm about to show you exactly what I mean. And I think I already see what I'm looking for. Yeah, perfect. So these skulls now could be found in these piles of smuggler's loot, and that is exactly what I need for today. And the best thing about it is I could still sell them to Order of Souls while the rest of this treasure can only be sold to smugglers, so the skull is an exception. Definitely taking this one with me and planning to look for more of these piles of loot as I complete quests in Devil's Roar. With the obtained items from a small island, I was now ready to move to a new land, so without wasting any time, I headed out for my quest. Today, I started with Hunt for Skeleton Lord, just to give you guys an idea of what kind of treasure I'm after today. And honestly, I think this is one of the best ways to level up your Order of Souls faction and earn a solid amount of gold, all while being invisible to the rest of the players. Okay, allow me to demonstrate what I meant by insane help in voyages from this one skull. That's it, the whole wave of skellies gone in seconds. The fire makes it useful against all type of skellies and especially helpful against gold skellies. You can progress very fast with this one. With such a powerful tool at my hands, I began working through waves of skeletons, and not long after, I was met with final boss of this quest. Let's just full send it at the boss. Mind you that I already used up quite a bit of power from this skull, as I used it on every wave of skellies, but still, look how much left, and the best part is that it's pushing the boss and he can't even shoot me or perform any of his moves. Oh, and it's out. But I bet you the boss is like so low right now. Just a couple of more hits and it should be enough. Yup, here we go. And the loot we get, one skull and 3 of these good trinkets, which is exactly what I'm looking for today. These go for a lot, and more importantly give you a ton of reputation, so I'm gonna collect these real quick and do a run around the island to look for more of these piles of smuggler's loot. Maybe I can find another skull. But also, I don't remember if I mentioned that earlier, but you don't have to worry about using all of its skull's powers. It still sells for the same amount as a fully charged one. So with this grind method now set up and running, my main objective was to consistently complete these quests and stack up a solid amount of loot on my boat. However, regular Order of Souls quests are not the only thing I'm after today. You see, in Season 17, the Devil's Roar is actually the best place for a solo to grind some loot and levels. Located so far away from any smuggler hideouts, many even experienced players miss out on the fact that this area still offers those old messages in the bottles with high tier quests in them that reward you with some kingly treasure. And with my quests mainly being on large islands, on the way to them, I would always stop on the nearby smaller islands for a chance of those bottles. So, I was back on the hunt. Slowly but steadily, my ship began to fill with loot, and my emissary flag kept leveling up. As a solo, that's one of the best feelings. You know, every piece of treasure, every skull on board was earned completely on your own. Up to this point, I've been switching between regular hunts for skeleton captains and a bigger fights against skeleton lords. It kept things balanced, challenging enough to stay sharp, but not too overwhelming for a solo. But after wrapping up another voyage, I wanted to spice things up. Just grinding the same loop can get a little boring, even out here in Devil's Roar. So, I decided to start an Ashen medley voyage. That added an extra twist, a ghostly armada hunt. For a solo, that was the perfect choice. Not only would give me even more treasure, but those phantom ships drop storage crates filled with better supplies and food. Out here, that's worth as much as the gold itself. More planks, more fruits, and more cannibals. All the things a solo needs to keep the run going. There we go, my first storage crate from the fleet. I was running a bit low on food with all these skeleton quests, and these crates usually have a decent amount of pomegranates and sometimes mangoes, which is just what I need. After taking down the ghostly fleet, my ship haul started to look a lot more rewarding. Skulls, crates, and some other treasure. It was really starting to feel like a proper solo run. But of course, the grind couldn't stop here. Next up were the quests I already knew well. Familiar routes, familiar enemies. It's the kind of steady progress that keeps a solo moving forward. Nothing too crazy, just keeping the pace and stacking more loot as I went. Let's see what we have on this small island. There we go. I see another skull in the pile. Ooh, and the message in the bottle. Perfect. Let's see. This one is for Order of Souls. Awesome. 4 captains, so 4 really good skulls from this one. Amazing. I kept working through Order of Souls quests, one after another. Each island had its own challenge, but nothing too overwhelming. Skeleton captains, waves of skeletons, just the usual grind. And every victory added another skull to the pile. Slowly, my deck turned into a collection of glowing trophies. Each one a reminder of how steady the run was going. What made the whole thing even better was keeping an eye out for those messages in the bottles. Whenever I sailed past a smaller island, I made a quick stop. Sometimes it was just an empty beach, but other times he gave me another quest to stack on top of what I was already doing. For a solo, that's one of the best ways to stretch the value of your time, turning one voyage into 2, then 3. And the loot just kept coming. Skulls, chests, and some other trinkets, most of it leaning towards Order of Souls sides, which was exactly what I wanted. It wasn't overwhelming, it wasn't stressful, it was just a smooth progress, almost like the game was rewarding patience and planning. After a while, I could feel the session coming together. It hadn't been long, maybe 2 hours at most, but my ship was loaded like I had been grinding all day. That is the beauty of Devil's Roar. It rewards focus, and when you're solo, that's exactly what you want. Let me take a look at this one final time. It is a lot of skulls, and it's just beautiful. Now, it's time to sell it all and see how much I've made. And just like that, another adventure came to an end. In just a couple of hours, I went from an empty sloop at the tavern to a ship stacked with glowing skulls, chests, and more treasure than I could have hoped for. The Order of Souls emissary did its job. Every voyage paid off, and even those little bottle quests gave me an extra gold along the way. What made this run so special wasn't just loot, it was pace. No interruptions, no stress, no enemy ships on the horizon. Just the solo pirate moving from island to island, stacking reward after reward. So that's where I'll wrap this one up. A short, focused run, plenty of treasure, and a reminder that sometimes the best solo strategy is just keeping it chill.